The guardian ad litems in the state of Connecticut, they're not attorneys. They're nothing. They have no experience. And they're appointed to steal fees and rob families. I mean, you can look at all the footage. Here's an incredible moment that you should watch, okay? An incredible moment. Let me set it up.
This is what I'm saying. Listen, we know that we have a lot of good judges. I always say that. I know judges that I love them. I don't have no problem.
Okay.
But I know judges that out there, they are playing those games with the guardians ad litems and the AMCs when the parents are suffering. So when we talk about false perception, like the last decision is not a guardian ad litem decision, that's the other problem. You said before that the family relation are the arms of the court. I will tell you, our guardians ad litems is the eyes and the ears of the court. So we got the arm, we got the eyes, we got the ears. What else is missing that the court is so messed up? Something is missing here, and that's what we have to find out, because we got already the eyes and the ears and the arm. What is missing out there? That the system is broken. Now,
The system is broken.
when they said that those parents, they don't, if the parents, they don't like the decision,
This is gold.
that the parents, they are disgruntled parents, but they help, they are saying, they come here and testify the judges in front of us, disgruntled parents. So that means that I also disgruntled legislator, because I'm helping this parent. So I'm in the mix. Do you think that is fair? The judges and guardians ad litems will say those are disgruntled parents. Don't believe them because they are not telling the truth.
I can't
Listen.
speak to individual cases, as we just talked about. I think, though, through how we collaborated last year on working on legislation to make the system better.
I've heard of 50
that
nightmares.
recognizes that
5
we
0.
realize that we can make it better, and that's what we have been doing, and we're going to continue to try to do. Again, and I don't want this to get lost in the discussion. There are many cases with GALs where the parents are happy with what has been done for them.
I agree.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah? Name one.
Let's go.
I can't name
I
one.
think that I still have like maybe 290 questions.
Okay.
I think that I have that. We the guardians ad litems, with all these problems going on in Connecticut, they're going through tough time. We have people that came here. But by any chance, do you watch our hearing or public hearing that we have here? It was what, January 9th, I think, that last year? CTN?
I don't believe I did.
No?
I'm not sure one way or the other, but
Well, you still have time. You can go back to
Okay.
CTN and watch that. And you'll see hundreds of parents that came here, mothers, and fathers came crying. And when you have a man sitting in front of us, they are crying because they lost everything. And I respect you, and I
Listen
don't-
to this
I don't-
case.
I'm not. It's not that I want to offend you, but when the issue was so publicly out there, that it was on TV, it was on the paper, it was out there every day. I find a little bit kind of strange that you never had the not even just to listen to that.
She didn't
to that,
listen.
because my opinion is that knowing that it was a huge problem, and you're the chief of the court, you don't have no control of I'm not saying that you have control of guardians ad litem, but the judges are allowing this. But with all that problem, and we were looking for a solution, I find a little bit disturbing that you didn't bother to watch that, to sit down and see what is the problem, because that's what I would do. A good leader would say, you know what, it is a problem out there, and it's a lot of noise. I sit down with
A good leader.
how I can help to resolve the problem.
That's what we've been trying to do for 2 years now, is try to figure out how to resolve the problem. We were aware there was concerns.
He was aware that he was concerned.
But she didn't listen to the people.
Yeah, it was more,
There were people from the administration who were, I believe, here and who actually listened to it.
right. It was two public hearing. Okay, it was two public hearing, but one last like, I think it was 15 hours, almost 15 hours. I'm not expecting you to, to sit down and stay 15 hours, but I think that in half hour maybe you can see what is the problem. Because you can take 100 pictures and put it on the wall of all these people, and you put all those pictures there, and you will say, you will watch every single one of them, all their faces. You take just one case of the abuse, and maybe that one case will fit on every single person, that every single picture that you have on the wall, because it's about money. This is a $50 billion industry.
It's about the money.
Ladies
Watch
and
tongue.
gentlemen,
Watch tongue.
ladies and gentlemen, I am going to ask you, I'm going to remind you, it is the policy of this committee not to permit shows, demonstrations of support. I'm going to ask you not to clap, not to shout, not to hoot and holler. Frankly, not to groan, not to make demonstrations behind the Chief Justice of the Connecticut Supreme Court. It's a breach of the order and decorum of this committee.
Give us a break,
I
Tom.
ask you to please respect all the committee members and the Chief Justice and Representative Gonzalez as she makes her way through the questions. Please do not do that. Please do not clap and make any demonstrations of any kind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One of the biggest problems, and why I got involved in this,
Listen.
it was because I heard a case that gave me the creeps about a child being sexually abused by the father. And even with the report of the doctor, the guardian ad litem and the judge ignored that. And that kid went back to the abuser. That's why when I heard that, something is wrong here. And that's why I got involved. And did I find out that it was more than one? Yes, more than one. And me personal, for me, that's unacceptable. You can't accept that. Now, I always ask myself, why a judge will put online the reputation and the name and the possession to allow things like that to happen? And when I say that it's not one family, it's not two families, Your Honor, there are thousands of families out there. So this is not a disgruntled parent. This is an issue that is really going on out there. Now, I have here one of the report. And I have
Watch
more
this.
than one here, but let's start with this one. About a family that lost everything. One of the bills was $382,000. I can buy a house with that kind of money. I think that I'm in the wrong business here. So, 382. And on top of this, the guardian ad litem is asking the judge to put her in jail. They forced her, the judge signed a lien to the house. Well, she filed for the motion and the judge granted. And they put a lien to the house. So, no kids, no money, and pretty soon, I think they already sold the house, no home. Homeless, and now what is going to happen? She will end up and the state. And the state will not supporting that person when she start the case with money. So this is what is going on, $382,000. And we all heard testimonies about $1 million, $1.5 million to $1 million. And that's why my colleagues didn't believe that, because it was the amount was terrible. And we never expected that, we never knew that was going on. But what happened is that after parents, they end up losing everything. Who cares about the gag order? Oh yeah, they have a gag order. But they didn't care because they end up losing everything. Why am I going to lose now? So they start coming here and calling people and let them know the problem. No.
Gag
And I
order.
can go on and on and on. The last thing that I have more questions about other stuff, but about the guardians and items, I will say, I go to different court. And I know that it's hard. Some judges, they don't like to see me around. But it's okay, because there's a public building and I can go anytime I want, as long as I didn't make any kind of trouble. But I know that they don't want to see me around. But one of the judges, and I got here, and I don't want to mention names, but if you want later on, I can show you this. This judge, one of the parents got up, and she was asking questions. And this is the response. She went nuts, and she said, "You and Representative Gonzalez are destroying the family court." So because I'm trying to help those parents, I am destroying the family court. I would like for you to respond to this.
I'd like to see it if I could.
Yes, I will. I will.
Can I see it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let me.
And I
just-
have something to describe a little bit more, yes.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
looking at, this does not appear to be a transcript. I'm not
No,
questioning whether
no.
it happened,
We
but I
got
think
the
it's
transcript.
important.
We got
Okay.
the transcript.
All right, but this
Yes.
is, so what I'm looking at
This
is
is
not the
right,
transcript.
yes.
Forgive me for interrupting, but some of the members would like a copy of the document that's been shared with the Chief Justice.
I later on, I'll see if I can provide the transcript. Because the transcript is
Let's
very
stand
specific.
in
Mine
recess
is-
while some copies are made.
So,
That's a quote, which again, I don't have the
Okay.
transcript. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you're responding to whatever the document is, but if it is the case, why don't
We'll
we
wait.
just wait until
Sure.
the
Okay,
copies are
so let's continue with the questions.
Okay.
Okay, I went to Middletown Court. Middletown? Yes. And I was ordered by one of the marshals. I was in a corner just watching and listening, taking some notes. And one of the marshals came to me and he said, "If you make any comment in this court, I'm gonna ask you to leave." And I said, "Well, guess what? I'm staying because I'm not making any kind of comment and not talking to anybody else. I'm just here listening." So he came back and he said, "You gotta leave the court." I said, "Well, guess what? I'm not leaving. I'm staying." And I did stay there. And when they finished the case, I walked out. And the marshal went to me to be sure that I was out of the building. I called the Patrick Carroll, and I asked him, "What is going on?" As far as I know, I had the right to go to court. And he said, "Yes, Representative, you have the right to be in court." And I said, "Well, can you be sure that your judges know that if I go to court, don't start messing around with me, just trying to kick me out of the court, because I'm going to stay."
I must say, I have called Patrick Carroll 60 times, and he never Never did a single thing. And now we're dealing with Bozzuto. And things are getting worse, folks, not better. It is a total lawless society. I've been kicked out of 5 courts this year. 5. For doing nothing. Nothing. I was kicked out of Stanford 3 times in the last 3 weeks after they stole 3 phones and a camera because I submitted an affidavit and a federal subpoena to view public records. I am not allowed to be present in that court. And 7 judges have commented that I cannot get a fair trial in the state of Connecticut. And any associate of Sam Magliari, who I happen to be an associate of, will get a fair trial in the state of Connecticut. Unfortunately, one of the associates of Sam Magliari has been gang raped by a drug dealer who is claiming to have bought Judge White. Let me repeat that. Judge White had me arrested under false pretenses. I've never spoken to Judge White. Never threatened Judge White. Never. And false statements were made. Many false statements, which Judge Bozzuto is aware of. So Judge Bozzuto, who took over for Patrick Carroll, allowed my phones to be stolen when I have a First Amendment protected right to record in the clerk's office outside the courtroom. And I served a federal subpoena to do it. All these people are in violation of a federal court order. All of them. There's about 20. And the conversations they had, which were captured on a Judge Randolph transcript, are alarming. They are alarming. And it's happening in every court. Lawyers are falsifying judges' signatures on court orders. Are you aware of that? There are 20 judges just in the Stanford Superior Court with a capious arrest warrant, warrantless arrest warrant for felonies. So thank you very much. I'm telling you, there is evidence that, if you listen to Ms. Gonzalez, the family court is destroying families to rob them. Clearly rob them. A friend of mine who has 4 sons and a daughter, his daughter was stolen and given to a drug dealer. And he thinks his daughter is being molested. And he has evidence. Evidence. Another a friend of mine, has a daughter that was stolen, and she's getting transgender treatments, having been adopted by 2 gay men who have convinced her that she's not in the right body. Really? She's 11 years old. Really? Irreparable harm is being done to many, many, many families. There's a woman in Greenwich who can't see her kids, and who's her husband, ex-husband. He works for the Second Circuit Court in New York. He is a pedophile, and she testified to that fact. And he got the kids. The pedophile got the kids. So, thanks for listening.